Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a braid that was inspired by a picture we saw on Pinterest. And this is actually very similar to our scallop braid if you saw that one. If not, I'll put the link to that below. So I've started this hairstyle by making a little half ponytail here on top, and then I'm going to split this into 3 strands and start braiding. As you can see, I have added an elastic here at the top. That isn't absolutely necessary, and I'll probably cut it out at the end, but it does help to get this braid started. So I'm going to start braiding normally. I'm just bringing the outside strands over the middle strand. I'm just going to do that a couple of times so that we have a start to the braid, and then I'm going to start removing strands like a feather braid. So I'm just taking a small section off of that outside strand before I cross it over. And I'm going to do this 3 times on each side. Okay, so now that I've removed those 3 strands, before I add them back in, I'm going to add a little bit of pomade to each one of those just so that we don't have flyaways. Okay, I went ahead and added that pomade off camera. If you're working with hair that is more textured or curly, you may want to just go ahead and braid these strands so that they'll stay together. Since hers is straight, I think we'll be okay just with that. And now I'm going to start adding these in. In the scallop braid that we did, we started from the top and added the strands in as we were going down. We're going to do this one the opposite way and start with the strand we took out here on the bottom. So I'm going to take this strand and braid it in normally, and then I'm going to add this 3rd strand that we took out right into that, and I'm adding it really loose so that there's a little bit of a loop there. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this strand on the other side. I'm braiding it in normally. I'm coming up and grabbing this 3rd strand that we took out and adding it in loosely. And then I'm just going to do the same thing, working my way up the braid. So I'm braiding that in, and I'm coming up to the 2nd strand, and again adding it in loosely. You want the 2nd strand up to be a little bit further out than this 1st strand that we put in. And as you're doing this, you kind of want to make it symmetrical as much as you can on both sides. So at this point, I've brought all of the strands in, and if it doesn't look right, you can kind of go back and stretch them out or pull them in if you need to, just so that they're the same. And then I'm going to braid down a couple more times and repeat this process. This is going to depend on the length of hair you're working with, of course, how many of these you can do. So same thing as we did before, I'm just removing 3 strands on each side. Okay, here's the finished style. We went ahead and added a ribbon to the top of that just to add a little something extra, and I think it turned out pretty cute.